Who needs Monday Night Football? You have Monday Night Live, Audiophile Roundtable, a November to remember. Yes, lots going on in November. Rhino, Hi-Fi, Beatles, MOFI, Analogue Productions. Lots going on. Welcome, Monday Nighter. Who cares about football? Let's talk music. Let's talk albums, audiophile albums. Lots going on today. I first wanted to give a quick shout out to our good friends at High Fidelity Records. You guys all know Josh. Here's Josh right here. This is his company, High Fidelity Records. I'm going to bring this. This is a segment brought to you by High Fidelity Records. They specialize in rare and audiophile vinyl, and they're always paying top dollar for record collections. There's also assignment options available. So get your quote. Contact them directly at high-fidelityrecords.com. Check out their website. Lots of good stuff. You can see behind me too, and I'll show you this. I just recently got the Speaker's Corner from High Fidelity Records, the Crime of the Century Speaker's Corner, and man, blown away by this record. And again, thank you, Josh from High Fidelity Records. Check out their website. Lots of good stuff on there. So welcome to Monday Night. Oh, we had Michael there. He's right there. Let's bring him on. Michael T. Hang on, I'm going to put this on here. There he is. It's just you and I. It's just you and I tonight.
Just you and me. Hey, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I just thought we'd do a nice little Monday Nighter talk. There's lots going on for November. You know, you just look at this. Look what I said here. So November to remember. I mean, you live in the States. We got the election coming up. But I mean, who cares about that? It's all about the different records that are coming out. I mean, we've got the Doors box set by Rhino Hi-Fi. We've got the Stooges, the Ramones we'll talk about today. They're on pre-order right now. You know, another one too. I want to show you this. I was checking this out today, and this is on the Rhino website. This is Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young live at the Fillmore East, 1969. That comes out in November, double LP. Directly AAA from the Analogue tapes, Michael. Cut by Chris Bellman.
Awesome.
I'm getting this one. Going to be awesome.
When is that coming out? Is that November also?
Yeah, sometime in November. And I know Neil Young had a big hand in this one as well. Like I think he almost became the A&R for that record apparently. So pretty cool.
Yeah. And don't forget all the new orders are coming out too in November. Crazy.
So I contacted Patrick Milligan from Rhino Hi-Fi. I said, Patrick, obviously you know the new orders are out. He goes, yep. We're working on it, Steve. We're working on it, which means, of course, they want to see if they can get it to the Rhino Hi-Fi label and cut it AAA if they can. That would be really cool.
Are the ones that are being released from a digital source?
Yes, they are. Absolutely.
I suspected that.
Yeah.
I've seen those. I'm going to give you a heads up. I've seen those for pre-order as low as $17 on Amazon. Can you believe that? That's a bargain, even if it's digital cut. No.
I'm sure they sound really good, right?
Yeah.
So I got some goodies here. Again, you know, I wanted to show some records here. Elemental Music, Zev Feldman. They sent me this here. This is a Bill Evans in Norway that's going to be coming out for Record Store Day, November. I think this is November 29th. So again, very busy. I listened to this last night. It's that classic Bill Evans sound. You know what I mean? Classic with Eddie Gomez and who's it? Marty Morell. Good stuff. If you're a big Bill Evans fan, you'll love it. And I love his style. This is 1970. I love his. I'll show you the inner sleeve here. And if you're a tape box porn, they have the whole tape box here, which is cool.
Nice. Do you know who cut that or where it was pressed?
Matt Luthens?
Yeah, Matt Luthens, yes.
And that was there. I love that look of Bill there. Look at that. Just slick. Nice. I love his 1970s look. It's pretty good. See how Matt cut that one. And yeah, this one sounds great. I always love these. I love the Bill Evans live stuff. It's good stuff. And
there's been a lot of Bill Evans for Record Store Day. I've noticed that every year.
And a great booklet too. Some interview. Yeah. There's an interview with him as well that he did in, of course, 1970. Yeah, some great stuff. And again, if you're into the tape boxes, the tape porn or the box porn, whatever it is, he got it right here. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's November 29th.
November 29th, and then this is are you a BB King fan?
I love some blues once in a while, yeah.
So Deep Digs Records, Elemental Records, they gave me this as well. Live at the 1977 Nancy Jazz Pulsations Festival, BB King in France. Double LP live.
What is that coming out?
Matt Luthens cut this one. This one here, I'm just looking at the November 29th as well. There's also a CD edition that comes out December the 6th, but yeah. Another great sounding record. Matt Luthens, right? I mean, tell the folks a little bit about Matt.
Well, I know that he is originally from Washington State. Did you know that? He's from Washington.
I think we talked about that, yes.
Yeah, and he He's cut at Kevin Gray's Coherent Audio facility, but he mainly works for Chad Kassem. He has the old mastering lab lathe and tape machines and console. So he's cutting a lot. You know
so
what else?
that
Yeah. What else?
Would that mean that Chad would actually be involved in this? So Chad's renting out his studio to Matt? Is that how that works?
I don't know how that works, but I know Matt Luthen's also dubs all the reel tapes for Acoustic Sounds when they make the 1/4-inch tapes off the master. You know, he does that too.
And I got more goodies here sent to me. Resonance Records. They've got this one, November 29th again. Emily Remler, Cooking at the Queens, live in Las Vegas, 84 and 88. Another double LP.
Okay. Resonance Records, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Jazz label.
Records. Jazz label. Zev Feldman again. And Sun Ra. Look at this. Look at this one.
Who's issuing that? Same label?
Yeah, same label. Lights On Satellite, live at the Left Bank.
Nice.
November 29th. So yeah, I got some goodies. Wanted to show everyone that. So yeah, I'm really excited to share that. But welcome, Monday Nighter. Thanks. Who cares about football? I don't even know who's playing tonight in Monday night. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is more important, talking records. I've had a busy couple of weeks, so I know I'd promised folks to, I was going to spin my Supertramp Crime of the Century Speakers Corner and compare it to my Mobile Fidelity, my A&M Audiophile, and I've spun it, so I know what it listens to, but I haven't been able to compare it to the other ones yet as well. So again, shout out to Josh at High Fidelity Records. I was blown away by the packaging as well. And so,
Yeah, when I've ordered from Josh Hugh, I've been really, really happy with the packaging. He packs things really well. He's a good guy. I love supporting a small business,
Me too.
Is it hyphen Fidelity Records?
Yeah, just if you look at the top, they're high-fidelityrecords.com. So, yeah. But yeah, thanks, Josh. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Amazing. Yeah. And I think there's a lot more people these days. I mean, as the older you get, you look at your collection like, hey, might as well cash it in. So Josh does consignment work and buys collections, and we'll give you a quote and all that stuff. So I know he's been busy lately. I talked to him the other day. He's been busy doing that. So really good stuff. But there's a lot going on, Michael. You know how I do the whole Acoustic Sounds top 10, right? I want to see what the best-selling records are on their website.
Know that. Yeah.
So we'll start that right now. You look at number 10, we got Louis Armstrong.
Hey, guess what?
What?
That is coming to me. It was supposed to come today. I ordered that.
Which one did you order? This is a
Louis
45.
Armstrong. It's a 12-inch single, and it's got one song on each side. It's considered a reference quality 12-inch single.
45 RPM, and it's $30. So that's...
It was, and it's been out of print for a long time. It was selling for over $100.
Wow.
And Chad reprinted it. But there's one song per side, 45 RPM stereo, Louis Armstrong. This is one I've heard played at audio shows. It's a reference quality 12-inch single. And the reason I ordered it said limited stock. It's already selling out.
So I'm going the opposite way. We see number 13, Wilson Pickett, the exciting Wilson Pickett. That's 45 RPM. That's the Atlantic 75 series.
Yeah.
Steely Dan Gaucho Hybrid, SACD, $35. Santana Braxis, the Mobile Fidelity, $60. I think it's on back order now.
Yeah.
And we said Louis Armstrong as well. And then we move on here. 10. Well, I got 10, but number 9, Dr. John. That's another Atlantic 75, 45 RPM. And the bookends by Mobile Fidelity. Number 8. Number 7, The Count and Oscar Peterson, The Timekeepers. Another Count record, The Gifted Ones with Dizzy Gillespie. And then Velvet Underground, Loaded. I still have to get that one. That's one on my list, absolutely.
That's one on my list, too. I've been waiting.
Maybe that's a Santa Claus gift to myself. We'll have to see. That's number 5. Bad Company, Analogue Productions. That's the SACD. The Ray Brown Trio, 45 RPM. That's just out, $60.
That is supposed to sound, that's another reference quality record from what I've heard.
Wow. Okay.
I don't have that, though.
I might look at that one, too. And then Humble Pie Smoking, $40. Yeah. Decent price as well. And then number 1, everyone probably knows, but boom. Louis Armstrong record. Again. Look at that. $40.
That's the full record. Yeah. That's been out of print for over 10 years, and people are wanting it, so...
And that's, again, if Save Your Money, November is going to be huge. I'm not sure if you ordered it, but we had Rhino Hi-Fi come out with Ramones Road to Ruins, and then, of course, the Stooges self-titled as well. Did you pre-order those?
Not yet. I'm going to do that soon. And those are both cut by Kevin Gray at Coherent and pressed at Optimal. Correct.
And I spoke with Patrick Milligan, the A&R from Rhino, this morning, and they're very happy with the sales of both of those albums.
Yeah. Now this is the first time that I've seen Rhino do a pre-order. They usually announce them and they ship them, right?
I think that had more to do. Normally, they don't do pre-orders, from my understanding, but it
Yeah.
had more to do with, I think, obviously, it would be the election if they would have dropped it on that Friday, and they didn't want that to interfere. Or, things are it's a big November, so they want to do those
Yeah.
pre-orders, get that going, so there's no issues with that. So, yeah, they're very happy with the sales so far. I mean, they're not sold out or anything like that. And I mean, we know they're just the numbered copies, and of course, if they blow through the number, there'll be unnumbered copies. So I mean, they're available,
Yeah.
that's for sure. So we can talk about that as well.
Yeah. I'm seeing in the
Really
comments
excited.
somebody's asking when is the Doors box coming? Is that November 22nd?
November 22nd, and I'm just waiting for. I might have a big announcement too on for the show with regards to the Doors box set. I'm just waiting. Looks like. Sorry, I just want to look at this quickly. Yeah, November the 4th, I should be able to get my Doors box sent to me in my promo box. So from that time before November 22nd, around that time, hopefully have a show together. It could be a very interesting show. So stay tuned for that if it all falls into place. Excited about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, November 22nd, the Doors 2,000 boxes. And of course, there'll be unnumbered copies soon thereafter as well. So if you need to get just the one-offs, you can get them.
So one more time to clarify, the Doors box set will be issued as unnumbered also?
No, the Doors box set will be numbered to 2,000. And then after those are sold, there'll be unnumbered copies of just the albums.
Just the albums, individual, not the box set. Just
so
the
again,
album.
guys, if you're into you remember the ZZ Top, they had what?
Yeah.
Was it 3,000?
That was 3,000, correct? Yes.
Yeah. So they sold that out, and then a week or two later, they came out with the numbered albums. So that's what will be happening here with the Doors again. So it'll be readily available.
It's going to be fun to do a shootout with the ones.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. Okay, so with the whole Doors thing, Michael, I've had a lot of people text me and email me and say, "No, I'm going to stick with the $60 45 RPMs cut by Doug Sachs back in whatever year that was now." Why? Yeah, why do I need the 33 RPM? It's not going to sound better. There's no way. But the thing is here, I think everyone should enjoy the music, a nice reissued remaster by one of the best. Why not put it on at 33 RPM? I mean, it's going to sound pretty damn good. We know that just based on the track record of all the other records that Rhino Hi-Fi has done that's been cut by Kevin Gray at Optimal. We also know that Bruce Botnick, who was the engineer, and I think he produced one or two of the records for the Doors as well, was with Kevin the entire time, the entire process, and it was, I think gave final approval to make sure it's what he wanted it to sound. So you talk about artist intent. I mean, that's as close as you're going to get, right? So, I mean, again, they're doing all the right things, all these reissue companies, with us audiophiles and being so picky with
and here's the reality
things.
too. Not everybody, it's appealing to potentially a different audience. Not everybody's going to spend $60 a record. Some people want to spend 40. Some don't want to get up and flip four sides. There's so many different variables,
I agree. I absolutely agree. So again, I think that's a really cool thing. They're introducing the Doors to maybe a new market, not just the baby boomers or us Gen X's. I mean, we're talking millennials now. We know from all the research from the Luminate report a year out, which I reported when Michael Fremer was on, that 50% of people that buy records don't even own a record player. I mean, that was a sample size, I think, under 2,000 people. But again, that's a sample size, no different when they're polling for an election. That would be a huge sample size in election polls, so that's a pretty good poll.
But that's right. Somebody said Kevin has mastered the Doors before with Steve Hoffman, correct?
DCC, and I mean those, and I would like to. I mean, I don't have the DCC, but I mean, I think it would be I'd be really curious if they could go. If someone could do a DCC Doors shootout versus the Kevin Gray Doors 33 RPM. That would be amazing.
Here's the thing with the DCCs. I've heard from Kevin Gray in an interview state that he didn't necessarily make all the mastering choices. Steve Hoffman did more of that, and he did more of the lacquer cutting.
That's right.
When Pet Sounds came out, I remember him saying that he actually got to make it how he wanted it to sound. Because when DCC reissued Beach Boys' Pet Sound, it wasn't how he wanted it to sound. It was how Steve Hoffman wanted it to sound.
And I think that's going to be another big debate in all these YouTube channels, probably including ours. It always is. I mean, 33 versus 45. I've done videos on it. I just think it boils down to preference. It boils down to if you the track listing. Obviously, it's meant for a 33.3 RPM record, not 45. Yeah. So I mean, have to get used to that type of thing. I think it just depends. If you don't have a full complete Doors set or it's a worn out, tired album collection of the Doors, this is a good revamp, right? I mean, you're getting them at great prices. 240, is it $240? I think we concluded that's probably what it will be for the 6 records at $40 each, plus shipping. I will have to mention, I know people made comments on this before. Steve, you're never mentioning the shipping as well. Of course, there'll be a shipping charge on the box. Again, I don't know what that would be. Is that an extra $20 or $30? What was it on the ZZ Top? Someone knows. I don't know what that would be.
I ordered that. I don't remember.
But it's probably at least $30 for shipping, right, on a box?
Yeah, or I don't even remember. If you go to $200, isn't it free shipping? It might have been free shipping.
Is it? Okay.
I'm trying to remember what, because I ordered
It's different in Canada. Us here in Canada, I mean, they have a Canadian Warner website as well, is where you can order some of this stuff, and I think it's delayed a couple of weeks sometimes before you get your order. So yeah. But I mean, let's read some comments, and we'll get to that in a second. I know there was a lot of controversy, and again, I had a lot of texts and emails from viewers saying they don't care about this Rhino box. Who cares? I mean, I'm going to stick with the 45s, or why are they doing this again? But I think it's about timing. There's a market for it. Why do it while it's hot, right? I mean, who knows what next year will bring at this time? You got to look at it. A new market, the Doors. I mean, that's a big band, right? And
exactly.
Bruce Botnick's not getting any younger. I think he's in his 80s now. So I mean, it's probably his last kick at the cat in terms of helping remaster some classic albums. Those 6 albums are classic records. Which one is your favorite Doors record, Michael? Which one do you like the best, and why?
Personally, for me, it's probably the first Doors album. I know a lot of people like "L.A. Woman" the best, but for me personally, and I just like the variety of songs on it. There's so much variety. They do a show tune. They do like Backdoor Man. They do originals. It's just everything's on there, and it sounds fantastic.
Well, and Jim Morrison's voice. I mean, over those 6 albums, over his career. I mean, it was a short career if you think about it, right? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, he really started to come into his own in terms of his vocal talent. I think we talked about this last week.
My second favorite is "Strange Days." I love "Strange Days."
That's a good. Even the album covers.
"My Eyes Have Seen You," "Moonlight Drive." Just amazing songs.
But he just really came into his own by the self-titled Doors to "L.A. Woman." Wow, what a difference in voice and his technique, and really exploring and taking risks and experimenting with his voice, and it really comes across. That's for sure. But I haven't even looked at the comments yet. I've been too busy with other things. I got one more thing. This is hilarious. You recognize this guy? Corey Feldman, Goonies, Lost Boys. What else did he? License to Drive. He also plays guitar, and there's a YouTube video out there of him playing guitar. It's probably one of the. I mean, I play guitar, but nothing great. This guy, I swear, doesn't know how to play guitar. It's the absolute worst. It's awful. But check this out. So if you're a Corey Feldman fan, so I'm thinking, Michael, people know you. I mean, you do contributing for Tracking Angle. You've done some videos for Michael. So if you go to these, these shows, you could do what Corey Feldman does. We can do like a Michael T. Look at this. So so I'll put it up. So you'll see Corey Feldman, but just pretend that says Michael T. price list. So when you're at these audiophile shows,
so it's $80 for an autograph.
So you guys can get a Corey Feldman personalized autograph for $80. I love this. A non-personalized, just his name for $160. A character name for $20, inscription up to 4 words for $40. Oh my gosh, and a photo opportunity with your own phone or camera for $80. So there you go. Corey Feldman price list. You should be working at McDonald's when you have to put this up. Like, come on. Makes no sense.
Crazy, yeah.
I think it's that gets to a point where you pretty much need to look in the mirror and say, I think I need to get a job. I really do. Need to figure this. I need to figure my shit out. But Corey Feldman. So we should talk. Let's go to some comments here. Sorry, I have not been. I apologize, everyone. I haven't even looked here at the comments yet. Let me go back up. I thought Michael and I would just do a nice Monday night, or just you and I. We had fun last week with the crew. Learning sort of vocal range with Tim last week. That was a lot of fun. But looks like George Borden's watching the show. George, hello.
Yeah, seen Mazzy on there too.
Oh, Mazzy, yeah. Here's David, Safe and Sound. Hello,
Safe and Sound,
David from Texas. What else here? Sagney is pre-ordered Stooges. Awesome.
I can't wait for that one.
Tony LP's us. Thank you. And I think Tony. I saw Tony's video. Tony came out with that. I think when it first came out, he did a Stooges. I think he has the original or copies of the Stooges and Ramones as well. And of course, we all miss George. He's in Pasadena now.
George Borden, right?
George Borden. Sorry, dude, just
There he
got super
is.
busy. And I did talk to him today. He's super busy, and I, of course, invited him on the show, but the dude's busy. He's working for a living these days. Doesn't have time for this stuff, you know? And the Crosby, Stills Nash was released last Friday. So getting back to that right here, this was the Live at the Fillmore East 1969. Now, this was cut directly AAA by Chris Bellman, okay? And Neil Young took over, I believe, the A&R for that one, or sort of produced that record as well, or reproduced that record for the reissue, the remastered. So,
And your sponsor's watching. Look, High Fidelity Records, Steve.
I'm really behind here. Hang on a second. Hello. Vinyl Kicks in 86. Was he born in 1986? That was a good year. I like 1986. Yeah. Hi, George. Christopher says that. George is like, hey, Christopher. We could just do it. Here's Leland's back. I haven't seen Leland in a couple weeks. Yeah, hi, Leland. Yeah. Welcome. John, yo, Steve, yo, Mike, thank you. And then John Bandy's are on. Matt's a cool guy, knows a ton about Sinatra as well.
Matthew Luthans, he's talking about. Yeah.
Matt Luthans, absolutely, for sure. Yeah. And then Rick's V. Spinner, I haven't seen him. I don't think I saw him last week. He heard the Simon & Garfunkel bookends MOFI and compared it to the original 2i Columbia. The MOFI vinyl would, of course, be better, but damn, that mastering is excellent. So I guess you mean like the MOFI mastering, not the original one. Is that what you mean? So, yeah, there's some good stuff out there. And then John Loper, I've listened to it. It sounds really good. I just haven't had a chance to compare it to my other Crime of the Century yet, so I will get to that at some point for sure. And then the Danny Kaye collection, the Sonic Flair collection at Josh's High Fidelity Records. Yeah, he's selling that one as well. Go to his website.
Yeah, most of it is gone. I went and looked.
Most really?
Of it's gone. Yeah.
I did not know that. That's awesome. Good work.
Yeah, when
Josh.
I looked, almost all the test pressings are gone. Yeah.
I'm way behind in these. I apologize, guys. I'm way behind. I was talking too much and too worried about the Corey Feldman autographs, so I didn't get to this. But yeah.
Did you actually order his autograph, Steve?
Not yet. Okay. Did I miss a Rhino Hi-Fi discussion show? This is not a Rhino Hi-Fi. Read it, Leland. It's Rhino Hi-Fi. It's AP. It's MOFI. It's you name it. We're going to talk Mariah Carey because it's almost Christmas time. Yeah. I know all of you guys are secretly going to buy Mariah Carey and not tell anyone. I mean, come on. I know it. Just be honest. This is a time. This is a time, right? You can just be as honest with us and just let everyone know, yes, you've capitulated. You're buying Mariah Carey, MOFI. You're probably doing the super vinyl, maybe the 45. Who knows? And then why haven't they done more cars self-titled? Put it out there. Put it in the comments. Patrick reads these comments. Rhino reads these comments. Let them know you want the Doors self-titled, because all they have to do is go back to the metal and recut it, right? That's what they're doing with the unnumbered copies. Did we talk Rhino Hi-Fi titles the first few minutes of the roundtable? I joined 5 minutes or so. We talked about the Doors. I mean, good thing it's recorded. You can go back, but yeah, I'm sure we'll talk about it again. But yeah, I'm excited. I think I'll hopefully get my box, the Doors box, after November the 4th. I'm excited to listen to that, that's for sure. And a lot of people are excited. I mean, happy with the ZZ Top box as well, right? It was really good quality. It came in like the box itself came in a box that said ZZ Top on the side. I thought that was really cool as well. Just getting up here. Here's Mazzy. Well, I knew that, Norman. I always prefer 33s despite the marginal improvement of 45s. Recently selling off his 45s. Classic 33s are more enjoyable. Depends, right? You still want to get lazy after a while, that's for sure. But yeah, if anyone I think I'm really curious to know, Kevin has mastered and cut Doors before with Steve Hoffman, DCC, right? Whoever has those ones, and we'll be able to compare them to the Rhino Hi-Fi, is going to be something else. What do you got in your hand there, Michael?
Oh, Mazzy was talking about the Blue Note Classics. They recently have started reissuing some of these titles on blue vinyl. So I know we're getting
that's
here.
Blue vinyl. Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's the same Kevin Gray cuts, but they're doing an anniversary.
Tell the folks that are listening what we're watching.
This is a fantastic record. It's called "Song for My Father" by the Horace Silver Quintet. And if you're wondering where Steely Dan got the intro to "Ricky Don't Lose My Number," I want you to listen to this record. There's
really
the first cut. It goes dun 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 over and over.
What's the song on that record that they
the one
they
that yeah. "Song for My Father." That's the name of it.
Okay.
So they've reissued these. They're the same parts, but they're just doing an anniversary on blue vinyl. They're gorgeous. They sound great.
Nice.
Preston Optimal also. I bought this one recently. Yeah, nice sound quality.
Are you you care about the whole
I have an
black
OG too.
versus?
Somebody mentioned OG. I have an OG of that too. It's a little noisy, but I have it back here. You know what? I usually buy black, but I just thought I'd get one of these. They come with an OB strip in
Yeah.
their anniversary edition. Anyway, yeah, somebody else saying they totally stole it from Horace. But when I heard that, I was like, wait a minute, this is Ricky. Don't lose my number.
Tall Freak says, can a Rhino Hi-Fi do the Dire Straits box set be too far away? Is that a good take on the song So Far Away from me? Anyways, yeah. I actually haven't heard about Dire Straits box set. There's a lot of Dire Straits out there. Of course, we know MoFi did those, and they were
But
recut again.
you know what the holdup was for the MoFi? The band had to approve them, and it took them years to approve them. So I don't think Dire Straits is not quite that easy. They don't just print them and press them. I mean, MoFi had to wait for a long time for the band to approve those.
So John Loper says he's a huge fan of Doors. He owns all the OGs, all the regular Rhinos on 45 APs, and now he'll also get the Rhino Hi-Fi. So if you're a huge fan, you're going to get them, right? Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're a completist, are you completist? You need to get them all the different.
I'm probably going to start with the first one and see how it sounds and go from there.
I've got so many copies of the Doors self-titled and different, ERC's mono. I've got the Bernie Grundman stereo cut from Rhino. I've got an original Canadian.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have a mono version too. Yeah, a reissue original.
Norman's right. The first two Doors albums are definitely essential for sure.
For sure.
And you know what? No one, I think the Morrison Hotel is one of those ones that doesn't get as much appreciation. There's a lot of people out there I know I've spoken to really love the Morrison Hotel record as well. So I'll be curious to see how the individual ones sell. Do you know what? Compared to obviously we know that we know the box set's going to sell out. That's almost a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And Soft Parade is unfairly criticized as well. Is that one that you listen to often?
Not as much, no.
Yeah. Now, getting back to, there's Patrick Lear. There you go. Hello, Patrick. He's excited for the Doors box. He only has 2 of the APs. There you go. Now, again, pre-ordering. Rhino did the pre-order for the Stooges album, right? The self-titled. That was their debut album. What was that? August of '69. I Want to Be Your Dog was a big song, and I think it's that album. It was ranked in one of the, that whole Rolling Stones 500 greatest albums.
I Want to Be Your. It's a great album.
All in all, it's a great album, right? I mean,
and there's a song called No Fun on there. That's awesome too.
Yeah, I think 7 songs, right? I'm Sick, Asthma Attack, Dance of the Romance, Goodbye, Bozos, No Fun, I Want to Be Your Dog,
and you know who else did that?
And
I have an issue of that Vinyl Me Please did, where they put the songs in a different order. There was a different version that came out that Vinyl Me Please reissued of the Stooges too.
Hold on, of the Stooges self-titled Vinyl Me Please.
Yes.
The track listing's different from
different
the original?
Sequencing. Yes.
Has that ever been brought up in the Hoffman file forums or anything like that?
It was issued about 2 or 3 years ago. I have it in the back room. Yeah,
Hold on.
Totally forgot about it.
I got to go see the track listing now. Okay, so the original track listing, side A, first song was 1969, and I Want to Be Your Dog, and then We Will Fall, No Fun on side 2, Real Cool Time, and Not Right, and Little Doll, it says here.
Yes, and then Vinyl Me Please. Yes, they issued one where the track listing was different. I'm trying to remember who did that, what the reason was.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'll have to go get it in a minute. We should look at it.
Wonder why.
If I had thought about it, I would have pulled it out. I just thought about it now. Yeah.
So November 22nd is the same release date of the Beatles 64 mono box and albums. Mm-hmm. So the actual albums and everything come out on November 22nd, right?
At one time, right?
Yeah.
And I think the solo albums by themselves, not the box set, is $29.99. They're not insanely expensive.
Yeah.
I'll probably try one of those out too for the fun of it.
Now, November 22nd, 1963, we had obviously the Kennedy assassination. Wasn't one of the Beatles albums released that day as well? Maybe Norman knows that. I think there's some weird sort of link to that as well.
Check out the comments.
I'm looking. I'm way behind. I'm way behind in the comments.
So I'll read it to you. VMP did the John Cale mix. It was mastered by Bernie Grundman. That's the one I was talking about.
Is that way down? Is it like a newer?
Yeah, 729.
I am so behind here.
So that's the one. Yeah, there it is. I have that in the back room. I just got to get it out.
Oh, okay. It was the John Cale mix. Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah. But it was a different sequence too, I believe, from what I remember.
Interesting. Yeah, so the release of one of the Beatles albums, Norman, was the day that Kennedy got assassinated, on that Friday, right, of '63. So
Yeah.
wow. And then right after that, they came to America in February 1964, and the world's never been the same since, right? But yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Any word on future Steely Dan UHQR titles? You know, it's funny. I got, hang on a second. I have a text here. I'll tell you. I can find it here. You know, Tim, right, from University of Vinyl. He was asking that question. He actually texted Chad. He goes, Chad, what's the ETA on Katie Lied? Thanks. Chad says, we'll announce as soon as Universal confirms and allows us to announce. Thanks.
But I remember now, years and years ago, Chad mentioned that all those titles were going to come out as double 45s, non-UHQR.
Yeah.
From Acoustic Sounds, and that hasn't happened yet. That was like 3 years ago.
So just to let folks know, when they first announced the UHQRs, Chad also announced at the time that once the UHQRs are pressed, they're going to just have the regular non-clarity vinyl 45, or is it 33s or 45s?
They were going to be 45 still. Yes, they were going to be 45s.
Right, because Universal has the 33s that are cut by Alex. Is it Alex Abrush?
Yeah, they're from their digital cuts. Yeah, yeah. But they were going to do the same parts, do 45 cuts non-UHQR for 60, and that hasn't happened yet. You're right.
Well, I think it's probably about sales. It's all about sales, right? I mean, it's a lot of
is he waiting for more?
It'd be a lot of redundancy. Wouldn't that be a lot of redundancy?
He might be waiting for more UHQRs to sell out first.
I wonder what the numbers are there. I bet you, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with my Asia that I got, the UHQR. That's been great.
Yeah, I've heard that sounds great.
It does sound good. But it wasn't Steve Hoffman's favorite, Michael.
His favorite, was it the Cisco or the original? I can't remember. The Cisco, right?
The Cisco, yeah.
That was his favorite.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm caught up. Any more comments? I should. Rick's V Spinner, Panorama's underrated Cars album. I was thinking Rhino could probably sell out a Cars box set with all the albums. I think so too. I bet you that's something.
I'd buy that.
I'd buy the.
Yeah, if it went from the Cars to Heartbeat City, I'd buy that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, if enough of us ask Rhino for a repress of the Cars self-titled, which is worth a lot, I guess it's selling for a ridiculous amount on Discogs, right? Still to this day.
Is it like 170 or 200 or something?
Is it $200? Oh, God.
Yeah, it's high up there.
Is that something I'm going to ask the folks too? Are you guys more price conscious than ever before? More than you were during the heyday when we were buying everything, and everything that was released, we were buying and creating those sellouts right away? Are you guys watching prices more? I want to see anyone answers that. Here's what, and yeah, put it in the comments and we'll put it up. Mac, so Steve, it seems like every man and his dog is buying the new Doors box set. So will they reissue it after the 3,000 are snapped up? From my understanding, once the box goes, you can buy the unnumbered copies. Again, the same drill as the ZZ Top box.
And I thought it was 2,000, right?
2,000. He was just saying, 2,000.
Yes, okay, yeah. 2,000.
I think it's 2,000. No, isn't Rush a Rhino artist? Who was saying that? Let me see.
Well, they were on Mercury. Is Mercury part of the Warner Group?
Does anyone know that? I don't know that without Googling, but we'll see. Nicole says, Chad. Oh, hang on a second. Nicole here. Chad said the non-UHQR Steely Dan will come out when the UHQRs have sold out. So when they're all sold out. I did not know that. I didn't know that's what he said. That is interesting. So what year will that be?
Because weren't they like 15,000 and 30,000 copies? There were quite a few.
It's 15 Asia to 20. Asia was 30. David from Safe and Sound knows the numbers. He'll put them up. Matthew Bell, Serio Sonic. Yes, I'm not buying multiple copies too much anymore. If I have a copy I like, I move on. Okay, there you go. Rick's V Spinner says, if you don't care about them being numbered, wait to buy the ones you want. Exactly. I think this numbered thing too is really, I don't know. I don't think it's that big of a deal any longer for people. I don't really think that it's going to, at this point going forward, really make a difference on the aftermarket, because it makes no difference. Like we talked about, you got let's say you have a number 100. That doesn't mean that's the 100th record that was pressed from that machine. That's probably the 1,000th. They don't even go in order. It doesn't matter. It's just the 100th album that was printed at Stoughton. That's all that means. It makes no difference. I never understood that even from a collector's point of view. It's just a number. It's irrelevant to what record you have there, right? Absolutely irrelevant. John Bandy thinks it'll be 2035 before the Steely Dan non-UHQRs will come out. That's funny. Anyone else want to guess? Rush's first album, they're saying, was Atlantic. Title was Presto.
When they switched, yes.
Yeah. So Rick's V-Spinner, I'm still curious to see what QRP does with Katie Lied. I don't need it since I have the German OG white label promo that sounds good, even with the DBX filtering mishap. You remember I did ask Steve Hoffman about that. I said, Steve, I mean, what about Katie Lied with this old DBX thing? He's like, well, who's cutting it? I said, well, Bernie. Oh, well, he has the equipment for it. It'll be fine. Someone's saying it's 3,000 for the Doors. Did I confuse that? Maybe was it ZZ Top 2,000, the Doors 3,000? I think that's maybe what it is. I apologize.
Yeah, somebody else said 3,000.
I flipped it around. I think it is 3,000. Someone can just check.
Yeah, okay.
Makes sense. I think ZZ Top was 2,000. I think that's what it is. But no, I think it's the flipping market. Are we finding, going to Discogs, you're not seeing the flips as much any longer, or that, the huge price discrepancies that we once did? And it says the press release for Rhino Hi-Fi Doors box 3,000. Sorry, I confused that with the ZZ Top, which I believe was 2,000. So thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited about November. It's going to be expensive if you get all of them. Did you? So have you determined? So you haven't even pre-ordered the Stooges or Ramones yet, right?
That's going to be happening probably this weekend. I'm going to pre-order the Stooges and Ramones. Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. And there's something that our buddy at High Fidelity Records is holding for me that I'll be getting this weekend too.
You bought something else from him?
Yeah. I'll talk about that after I get it. So.
Okay. I wonder if it's a Sonic Flair Danny K collection.
We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm definitely wanting to know what those new orders sound like. I'm definitely going to check them out. The new order reissues coming out in November too. I'm a big new order fan.
If you guys are just joining late, Rhino Hi-Fi is really happy with the sales so far of both the Stooges and the Ramones, and they're pretty much neck to neck in sales units right now. So that's interesting. So it looks like probably everyone's buying both at the same time. It would make sense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What did Bardo Ken say? When Fremer toured OFI's pressing plant, they said they try to keep number pressing somewhat in order. They said the number will be within 100 of the actual order they were pressed. Well, sure. Nice. You believe it? Just like MOFI. Remember MOFI, we found out that they also pressed multiple numbers of the Beatles MOFI boxes. So there's multiple numbers of number 1, multiple numbers of number 2, et cetera, et cetera. So who knows? Rick's V Spinner. Bernie has the DBX decoder. Yes, it's just too bad Roger Nichols, Gary Katz, and the Dan didn't run 2 single pass, one with the DBX, one without, and record using 2 reels to reels. There you go. But does anyone have the Steve Hoffman Katie Lied CD that he remastered? And if so, tell me your thoughts on that one. I do not have it. I haven't heard many people talk poorly about that one. So is it a bias thing? We'll have to see. This might be one of those Katie Lied could become the DBX bias, confirmation bias thing of the century. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's, I guess, pushed back. I mean, does that mean that Chad and Bernie have been going back and forth and trying to come up with the best sounding cut? Like going back to the tapes again? I wonder what's going on. Any word? Anyone else know?
I don't know.
Huh. And then he says, Rick's V Spinner. I would guess the name of the very next album, The Royal Scam, had something to do with their disappointment with DBX. Yeah, interesting. There you go. Metallica's not a Rhino artist, are they?
Well, actually, somebody actually answered that. They're one of those artists like
they're their own label.
They've reverted back to them. They call it.
Oh, hang on, right there.
Yeah, they were. But a lot of artists had in their contract that after so many years, the rights to the titles went back to them. Same with Motley Crue. Same with I think ABBA too. Same with I believe even AC/DC. So a lot of them go back to the artist after it's part of their contract. So yeah, Metallica has their own record label called Blackened Records.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Don't they press at the MOFI plant too, or they have their own plant?
Furnace. They own Furnace.
Yeah,
Metallica owns Furnace. Did you know that? Yeah, they purchased the Furnace plant on the East Coast.
Wow.
Yeah.
Want to give a shout out. Happy birthday to one of our viewers, John T. Won't mention his last name. He's happy birthday.
Yeah.
Have a good one tomorrow. Spin some records. It's good. I'd love to see a Cardigans box set. How about the Cardigans? Any fan of the Cardigans?
I know some of their songs. Late '90s. I remember them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder. I mean, I know we always have we're always having the debate about, oh, I want Led Zeppelin and all that. But I think really moving forward to get more of a market, you got to start expanding the repertoire, expanding your audiophile palette, right? And start, maybe we have to get stuff that's not recorded in the 60s or the 70s. And maybe we're looking at the 80s and the 90s now, right? So, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
And there's someone says Joy Division. So
Yeah,
there's
they
a
were
market.
on a label called Factory Records, and I don't know if they
Yeah.
got picked up by a
That's
major.
right.
I
Yeah.
don't know what happened to Factory Records.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I was just looking here. Echo and the Bunnyman, that's definitely a box set. Definitely, Christopher, that's something that Rhino is looking at for sure.
Yeah, can you
Not the box
imagine?
set,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
Echo and the Bunnyman. Again, from my understanding, talking to Patrick in the past, it's really about negotiating with the manager and the band, and then just that
Yeah.
back and forth. It takes forever. And I know when we had Grover Beery on from Because Sound Matters, and we can talk about that too. I mean, the Green Day American Idiot is out. I know we wanted to mention that briefly. I think, is it this Friday or is it already out?
It was. So I saw it in stores. I was in stores last weekend, Steve. Yeah, American Idiot is out. I haven't seen the One Step in stores that Levi Sites.
I think that's Friday, if not, or was it last Friday?
That was last Friday.
Okay.
However, stores did have a 2 LP of American Idiot that was on color vinyl that was cut by Chris Bellman at Bernie Groen Mastering.
Well, we know there's not master tapes for that, right? That's my understanding with the American Idiot.
That was, yeah, I heard that Chris's were also 190, 224 files, yes.
So there will be a Chris Bellman versus Levi Sites shootout of American Idiot now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
I wonder, has anybody got American Idiot by Levi Sites yet? The One Step? That was a one where
I have it.
Right? Yeah.
I have the test pressing.
So is the one they sent you Levi?
I didn't give it to Leland.
Is it Chris Bellman or is it Levi Sites that you got?
I got this is the Because Sound Matters. It's a Levi Sites.
Okay. Then you got
put it
Levi
away.
Sites, yeah,
but I mean, it's just
great.
Test pressing. But it sounds great. I mean, it's a full record. It's very dynamic, right? There's a lot going on in that record, as we all know, if you remember.
Yeah.
I would like to also see in the new year maybe another Black Sabbath cut as well. That would be nice to see from Rhino. That would be one of my like, what is it? What's that? Master Reality, Paranoid, something like that. They've done a lot of Master Reality. I think VMP did Master Reality this year.
I would love Master Reality. Yeah.
Well, so maybe it's Paranoid.
Because Kevin Gray has cut Paranoid.
He's cut
before.
Yeah.
In the past, yeah.
Yeah, so that would be very interesting to see.
And Vinyl Me Please did a purple version of that. I have it that was Kevin Gray AAA cut. But Master of Reality, I think Ryan Smith cut that for Vinyl Me Please.
I have a AAA Master Reality. I want to say a Black Sabbath that was cut by Ron McMaster. Love him or hate him. I thought it sounded pretty. I think that's the one that I have. AAA. Yeah. More Sabbath would be nice on the Rhino. Anyone else? I mean, I know we talk about Simple Minds. Someone said Simple Minds. We talked about that one of our shows. Simple Minds sounds amazing. All their records. I have most of them. They sound great. Such a great band. I would say they're underrated, but in today, if you're listening to, want something new from the 80s, some good stuff.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. I saw something else here. Bricks v. Spinner. Rhino Hi-Fi should consider releasing New Order's Power, Corruption, Lies, and Low Life. 2 New Order titles in 1 month. There you go. So, well, they have the New Order on the Rhino the Rhino site right now, right? But digital cuts. But we want to see them. I know that's something they'd like to work on and get the AAA cuts. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Master of Reality. Brian K. Smith for Vinyl Me Please. Yeah, more Sabbath would be nice. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was really fun though when I got to surprise everyone with the Sabbath self-titled record, and that was amazing. That was an incredible sounding album. I mean, I guess you can say I'm a little bit biased on that one, but I just love it.
Yeah.
So good.
And earlier in the comments, once again, Jane's Addiction, Nothing Shocking came up for Rhino High Fidelity. We've been talking about that for ages.
So that's another one I can tell you that I've suggested to Patrick. It's about dealing with the band. We know the band is not liking each other. 2 of the members aren't happy with each other. So again, who knows? I mean, you got to remember too. They probably. I don't know if they. I wonder how it's presented to them. Did they present it? Hey, we want to. We can sell 5,000 of these records. Here's what we can offer you. I wonder if it goes like, here's what your cut is. Can we do it? I wonder how they negotiate that. Why don't they just start with a cut and say, here, this is what we can make you. Do you want to do it? I mean, if I was the manager of the band, that's the first thing I'd want to see. Show me the money, right, Jerry Maguire? And then, negotiate from there. But a lot of the times, getting back to it, when Grover Berry from Because Sound Matters came on, and when I spoke to him in not too long ago, he had to wait a long time. He had to send those test pressings of Green Day's American Idiot to the band and waited for the band and their management to give him the green light to actually cut the records and package them. So that was the holdup for him for the longest time.
For American Idiot, the band had to approve it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the band approved it. So again, artist intent. The band approved that cut. He sent him the test pressing like the one that he sent me. And the management and the band listened to their American Idiot, gave it the thumbs up, boom. Yeah, who said that, Patrick? There, good luck, right, with Jane's Addiction. Perry, good old Perry punching his guitarist out, so I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. And then Dookie is a AAA cut. It'll be cut by Chris Bellman when that comes out, the one step. A Roxy Box AAA would be awesome. Miles Scholl did did them all for Abbey Road, right? It has.
He did Avalon. I remember Avalon.
Avalon sounds really good. The Miles Scholl version of Avalon. I think he's done the whole set of Roxy music though. But again, they say in a box set, that would be awesome. Yeah. Grateful Dead box set. There you go. There's so many options, right? It just depends how much money you want to spend.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read it in the comments. Are you guys buying both the Stooges and the Ramones and the Doors box? Are you going to? And what's happening with MOFI? I think MOFI. Are you going to buy those right away? Pre-order those before Christmas? It's going to be expensive, right?
Tango and Night's coming up.
There's Tango in the Night. We haven't talked about that. I'm going to go. You know what I'll do? I want to just see something here. I think it was to have it up. Maybe I don't have it up. But before I do that, you are on another YouTube video. You wanted to quickly,
let me grab
look at it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let me talk about this for a minute. So at Pacific Audio Fest, that was the high-end audiophile show, happened early September in Seattle. Through Shane Bettner, who we've had on Intervention Records, I met a gentleman that runs this company called Audio Ultra.
Ooh.
Okay, that's a bag they're giving out at Pacific Audio Fest. He is a very high end. I'll say that, very high end audio dealer. So we're talking about things that are not cheap, but what I've gotten to know him pretty well. He lives really close to me. His name is Ed DeVito, and I've had opportunities to go over there and listen to lots of records on very high end systems.
Yeah.
So I actually just yesterday, Sunday, we listened to a UK first pressing of Abbey Road that I had, and we were both blown away with it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we actually made a video about it. So his YouTube channel, this guy Ed DeVito, is Audio-Ultra. If you can find it and subscribe, would love that. He's been really good to me.
Right here. Right here.
Yeah, there you go.
Just hang on. I'll play a couple. I'll play it for 2 seconds. Hold on.
Hey guys. There he is. As I said, he lives really close to where we're at. Plus, we have Speaker Dick up the street as well. But today's Sunday, so I thought I would make it a breakfast with the Beatles. And Michael has a great collection of albums.
What speakers are those?
Talk about what he brought over today.
Yeah, I've been bringing stuff over to Ed's to listen to a lot lately.
I'll tell you about those.
What we listened to today was, I believe it's the first or second pressing, a UK pressing, which is the very desirable one of the Beatles' Abbey Road.
There you go. Wow.
Yeah. So the speakers behind him, they're a German brand called Tidal, Tidal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And there's only 2 dealers in the U.S. right now, one guy in Pennsylvania and this guy, Ed. But the speakers he carries are Magico. Magico are very well-known speakers in the U.S. They're made in California. And Tidal. Then he carries a turntable out of Australia called Doman, Dohmann. And Doman used to make Caliburn turntables. It was Michael Fremer's reference for a while. He also carries a brand called CH Precision out of Switzerland. And he carries the very high-end Audio Quest cables like Dragon. So it's stuff, honestly, it's stuff that are out of my price range, But The fact that he's giving me an
it's one of those,
opportunity-
if you won the lottery, this is what I would buy. type of
Exactly.
things.
Yeah. We're talking about $500,000 systems, you know. But the fact that he's letting me go over there and listen to these records, and he's asking for my feedback, and he's asking me to help him set up the speakers.
Well, you are Michael T, for
Yeah,
goodness
yeah,
sakes. But
yeah.
Rick's V is saying Dead Wax is YEK369 or something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
And there, I think -2 on side one and -1 on the other are the ones that are the early pressings of that.
Nicole's getting the Stooges and released to Save for the Doors box set. Not getting the Stooges so she can save for the Doors box set. There you go.
I know. I'm worried about the Stooges selling out and taking 6 months to come back, though. That's what I'm worried about. Because once in a while, they don't put out the unnumbered right away.
Well, yeah, I couldn't answer that. I don't have that much information, inside
I
information,
know.
that's for sure. Cranberries box set. Someone said that. Nick's, yeah. Wow. There
Yeah.
you go. John Loper, you got a UK first Elton John Honky Chateau, and it sounds amazing. Honky, that's with Rocket Man, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's the Rocket Man song on that record. Am I right?
Yeah. Isn't Honky Chateau the one that VMP did with Ryan Case?
Yeah.
Smith
And that
AAA?
has
I don't have
Rocket
that.
Man on it.
I want to get that. Yeah. I've been wanting to get that.
Must sound good. I
I
find
know.
that a lot of these Elton John records, I think they were really produced and recorded really well back in their
Really
day, too.
well, yeah,
It really
yeah.
does help, right?
Yeah.
That's for sure. And it does have Rocket Man. Honky Chateau has the Rocket Man. I thought so.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's my favorite song. All my kids sing that song. We have it in the car. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
the Rocket Man.
The DCCs of Elton John sound amazing. And I remember when he had Steve Hoffman on, he said for the greatest hits back in London, they made half-inch 30 IPS dubs of the master tapes for that greatest hits. So the source is all analog, really high quality. I have that one.
I wonder so if you're a master engineer like Bernie back in the 60s and 70s, I wonder how often these guys made their own copies of the master tape that they've made just so they could have it and have it for future reference.
Play
I
for
wonder.
fun or
Yeah.
share with select friends.
I wonder. You
Yeah.
have to think like, Bernie cut all the Led Zeppelin. I wonder if he has his own copies of the Led Zeppelin
Yeah.
tapes somewhere underneath his desk, right? For classic
And I
records.
wonder if you have audiophiles that have Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk money, do they have sources where they get?
Well, it's like that.
Dubs?
It's like that Farmer Bro guy that got arrested. Right? He had what's that? Whatever that one record. I can't remember the rap. It was $2 million record. He bought the only record, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
Someone's mentioning CH Precision Electronics are amazing. They are. They're out of my price range, but they're amazing. Made in Switzerland. Yeah.
Oh, Nicole, yeah, CH Precision, amazing.
Yeah. They are.
And then here's Mohab ordered both Rhino albums last week. Are you getting the Doors box as well, Mohab? Ask Mazzy about Blue Moves, Rick's V Spinner, if he's around.
John Blue Moves. Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
album. That was 75 or so, I think.
Was it?
76, right around there. Yeah.
No, I just mentioned there's other. I think I did. I missed it, but they were talking about. One of the viewers is asking about Steely Dan again, but I don't know what's gonna. Who knows? I mean, who knows if they're ever gonna make those 45 RPMs, right? I mean, will they sell it at the UHQR at this point? I think when they first got that license and were negotiating, I think they thought
Yeah.
for sure.
And you know what happened, Steve? Honestly, after 2 years after COVID, where everybody was in FOMO mode, how many people are going to spend 150 on Steely Dan Asia?
Well,
I mean,
if you're
yeah,
if you're
obviously-
Canadian like me, it's
Yeah,
200. It's $280.
Obviously, it's a good recording, but people are getting more selective about what UHQRs are buying.
Yeah.
So it might take 2 more years to sell some of these out. I don't know.
No, someone said 2034 or something. 2035. Who knows? Yeah, Brian Ferry Boys and hang on. So Abbey Road did. Yeah, sounds really good. So Brian Ferry Boys and Girls, Abbey Road. So Miles Scholl did a bunch of those. Sound really good, and he is getting the Doors box. So again, limited to 3,000. Man, you're gonna have to. I'm not. Again, I don't know how that's gonna roll on November 22nd. Right? It's
Yeah.
not a pre-order. I think it just like it has in the past. It just hits the website on that morning. It's a Friday morning between 5. I would be up at 5 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. Because that's
Yeah.
sometimes it sort of hits up. They do beta tests between 5 and 6 a.m. PST, and then it goes live at 6. But they're always doing it early to make sure there's no crashes, anything like that. So that's why.
Hey,
It's always
I
up
saw
early.
a comment I want to talk about. John
Okay.
is saying that Tool Enema is coming out next year. I didn't know that.
I
That's
didn't know
been a lot of people have been waiting for forever and ever. The original pressing is going for 800,
Thousands.
1,000. Yeah. If that really is coming out, I want to know about that. I do have an original. Sounds fantastic.
Saw something else here.
Oh, look at the NXS kick comment. That's the one we confirmed.
Yeah.
We confirmed that, both of us.
Christopher, on one of our shows, I think it's even has the Kick album thumbnail. We go and do a whole comparison of that one, and we came away with it being that one too.
With that one, yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
They're all. I mean, again, that was a digitally recorded record, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, so, and the thing was, Miles' copy that he used was a straight dub at 192.24 from the original master tape in Australia with flux magnetic heads. APs was a copy for the US. It was an analog tape copy. That was the difference.
It's the APs. I mean, even my original from Canadian original non-gatefold sounds great. I mean,
sounds great. Yeah. Oh, so they're saying there's a test press and AAA on the tool enema. Hope that's true.
And he's heard it. Yeah.
Can't wait for that one.
So when's that supposed to come out? Like next year?
Next year. Yeah.
There's gonna be, there's. I saw something else here. Tall Freak. He bought the Green Day American Idiot vinyl box set, and how much better could that be than the One Step? Yeah. Well, it's all about vinyl quality, right? We know the One Step, just just a different vinyl compound, that type of thing.
Yeah, and different cutting engineers. Levi cut that versus, but I mean, come on, Chris Bellman's awesome too. So I don't know what we're gonna go there.
And I can see a controversial shootout from one of the YouTubers, Chris Bellman versus Levi Seitz is American Idiot. Which one should you buy?
Yeah. We've had him on the show. He's a good guy.
If ever does it, please make sure it's a blind shootout and you have someone put it on your table for you and you turn your back so you can do a proper comparison.
Yeah,
that would be Levi versus.
I own that. That was the double 45. I loaded it to somebody, but that's an amazing cut too. Yeah.
What's Reveling 16? I'm very in a minority on this, but I like the Van Morrison Hard Nose the Highway. Van Morrison's really hit and miss, right? I mean, I guess they want to sell records, so one of those ones that you got to be a huge Van Morrison fan. That's not one that's probably going to be overly popular to the masses, but yeah, it's a good album. I'm a huge Van Morrison fan. Who's this? Patrick Lear. I just got a copy of the VMP PJ. Sounds great. I've heard that too. That's awesome.
That was cut by Levi Seitz also.
That was Levi. Yeah. Levi's doing some. He's been hot.
Levi does a lot of Pearl Jam stuff. He does. Yeah. They like working with him.
Yeah. So I would assume then too, a lot of his cuts would be artist intent and approved by the artist if
or their management. Yeah.
I'm finding a lot of the time it's the management that have more of the say. Like when the Eagles did the whole One Step with MoFi, that was Eagles management doing all the approvals for that.
He did tell me one time that Levi told me that he hasn't actually met the guys from Pearl Jam. They haven't come into the studio.
No,
but the management approves them.
Yeah.
But bands like Pearl Jam have pretty rigorous process. It isn't just signing off.
Well, think about it. That big of a band, that big of popular of an artist, you want to make sure that it's getting out to your fans at the best quality. I mean, I certainly would. I wouldn't just sign off just because at this point, they don't need the extra cash on these records. They're making all the money off these concerts.
I'm seeing somebody say Levi needs to recut Dark Matter. Yeah, Levi mentioned in an interview he didn't cut Dark Matter. It was cut by an engineer in Germany.
That's
right. Basically, that was pressed at Optimal. Optimal doesn't name their engineers. It's one of those places like GZ Media where they have lathes and they have anonymous engineers cut records for them that they know who they are, but they don't announce who they are.
Is that like Speaker's Corner, or do they have actual engineers that cut?
Some Speaker Corners were cut by Kevin Gray. It just depends on the title. No,
that's true. I have a couple that are Speaker Corner that cut by Kevin Gray. That's right.
Yeah.
Dark Matter needs a reissue.
What I heard about Dark Matter, you guys, was that the final tape that was delivered was compressed as hell to begin with, so the mastering engineers couldn't do much with it. It was already compressed as hell, brickwalled.
Yeah, and then Loper says 10 needs cut by Levi. All the
that needs a double LP reissue. It's a 60-minute album, and they've crammed it on one album. So yeah, definitely.
And I finally got to listen to Billy Squire behind me. That unbelievable. This is the.
I have that too. The Intervention Records.
Yeah, this is the Intervention Records. Again, I love how they just package this. It comes already outside of the album crap. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, let's give a shout out. Hey, by the way, we should let people know that Shane Bettner released a jazz record on Friday. I can't remember the name of it. He told us about it. The one he talked about on the show was released this past Friday. His new jazz record.
Interventionrecords.com.
Yeah.
I had fun. I had a lot of fun on that show with Shane. Learned,
You
you
know
always
what
learn a
else?
lot, right? So much
You
fun.
know what I also learned from Shane? He sent an email about it. Matthew Sweet, one of his artists, recently had a stroke. Did you hear about that?
I did hear about that. Matthew
Yeah,
Sweet, some great
and he
albums
was
as well.
promoting the GoFundMe. They're trying to do a GoFundMe because he doesn't have insurance.
It's
Yeah,
that
it's
bad,
sad.
huh?
Yeah, yeah,
That's too bad.
really sad. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Here's another, the Joe Jackson. Do you have the Joe Jackson from Intervention?
You know what? Actually, Shane sent me one of those as a gift for being on the show. So
And?
I haven't opened it yet, but he
Oh,
sent me
okay.
one of the Joe Jacksons. Yeah,
Yeah.
as a thank you. I
That's
don't mind
funny.
saying that.
Depending on your age, right, Jeffrey's like the Billy Squires, one of the most overplayed records of my school year. I just can't
Yeah.
do it. I get it. I understand.
I was in 7th grade when that came out.
Wow. What year did that come out? What year was that?
81, I believe. 81, 82, right around there.
I was like,
It was 81, actually.
oh my God. So I would have been,
I was 12.
I'm younger than you. So yeah.
Yeah, so you're probably
I would
what,
have
8
been,
or something?
I was
7?
like 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's horrible. Matthew Sweet.
I know, that's so sad. Yeah, really sad.
Joe Jackson's amazing. Digital source, but sounds amazing. It's a digital source of Joe Jackson?
I believe his albums are visually recorded, yeah.
Okay.
And Matthew Sweet was on tour when he had the stroke, I heard.
Not on stage. Not on stage, though.
I don't know if it happened on stage, but he was touring when it happened. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Sad.
That again, life's too short. Like I think I'm pretty consistent when I tell everyone, like, go out, enjoy your records, spin your records, have some fun. I mean, you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, right? Just make the most of each day. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious. I'm excited to hear when the Stooges and the Ramones get delivered to everyone's houses, what they thought of them. I mean, I think that I know Kevin Gray. I texted back and forth with Kevin over the weekend. He was very happy with those 2 cuts from what he told me. He's very, very pleased with the way they sound.
Which 2 cuts?
The Stooges and the Ramones.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear those.
He's very, very happy.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a Ramones fan, though. I think I think he cut Ramones prior, right? Didn't he cut Ramones? Didn't he cut the Ramones box? Was there a box that he cut or something like that?
So I'm not sure. Yeah.
I can't remember, but I know he's cut Ramones. But I think he's got a special place in his heart for the Ramones. But he's really happy with both of those cuts. And he said, "Steve, you're going to be really, really excited about them." I'm like, "Yes."
I would love. Somebody mentioned we needed an Intervention Records, Emotion in Motion. I would love that. That's a great.
There you go.
It's a great Billy Squire album. Everybody Wants You. Remember that song? That was on there. That was one. Andy Warhol did the cover for that. Did you know that?
Oh, okay, I did.
Yeah, Andy Warhol did the cover, and I had Billy Squire autographed that back in my radio days. I have it autographed. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think this whole Rhino Hi-Fi thing, in terms of the obscure titles. I mean, I've had this conversation with many people in the industry, different mastering engineers, some producers. They're like, we got to open up. If we're audiophiles, we can't just do Led Zeppelins and Steely Dan's and the Beatles every 24/7. Open up open it up, and just there's other things out there. So I mean, they're great sounding recordings to begin with. So if you get them, an audiophile reissue like some of these, they sound good. But again, you just have the same old stuff. I mean, we laugh and joke about it, but I think people get tired of hearing about Steely Dan every 2 minutes on these shows, right?
So I didn't know this. The regular Rhino really is AAA. I have that, but I didn't know.
I have that too. Is that the colored one?
It sounds quite good. It's a quite. I didn't know it's AAA though.
I'm gonna find that out for you. I can find that out for you.
There's no information in the dead wax. I don't know who cut it. So.
No, Patrick PB says no, but they can do the Doors every other day. Well, I know. I guess it's money too, Patrick. Yeah, the Doors every day. But I think the Doors every day, that 3,000 Doors every day are going to go pretty quick in the box set November 22nd, right? The same day as the Beatles box. That's a big day. Aren't they both the same day? Or do I have my dates wrong?
Yeah.
Do I have my dates wrong? Or are they both
I'm
around
losing
that
track.
time?
November is going to be crazy.
It's a November to remember. I think.
Yeah, and then
I'm forgetting everything already.
And then on top of that, Black Friday Record Store Day is on November 29th. On top of everything else.
Yeah, I got. Well, I was showing some people at the top here, some of the Record Store Day stuff, right? So
yeah.
This interests you on Sun Ra?
Potentially, I have limited interest. Yeah.
And then I have this one. I haven't had a chance to listen to it. This is Emily Remler cooking at the Queen's Live Vegas '84 and '88. some good stuff. These are our record store day stuff. So yeah, I'll definitely. And this is limited pressing of 2,300. It says so. Record store day stuff. I think the Beatles, the Doors box is better than the Beatles box, and we can talk about that. I mean, here in Canada, I think it's $500 Canadian for the Beatles box mono set. I'm gonna buy 1 or 2 individual albums. I've already pre-ordered on Amazon the Beatles 65 when it releases, so I'll get that to my house.
Yeah.
I might do the Please Please Me one as well. with
Meet
Twisted
the
Showdown.
Beatles would be the U.S. version of Please. Yeah.
Yeah. So Beatles is November
The
22nd.
12 minutes aside, right?
Yeah.
Well, if they're cutting 12 minutes aside, it should sound really damn good, right? They have a lot of space.
Yeah, a lot of space. That dead, the dead wax is this big.
Unless they
for
cut
sure.
it. Yeah.
And then I was saying that I you guys will not admit it on this, but I bet you'll be a lot of. Wouldn't that be the funniest thing if Mariah Carey from MOFI gets sold out, and then we don't know, no one's going to live up to it or own up to the fact that they all bought it for Christmas.
Yeah.
Your wife might appreciate it, guys. Hey, honey, I got something in the mail that's not for just me. Merry Christmas! It's Mariah Carey Christmas 45 RPM.
You could use you could play All I Want for Christmas over and over for cartridge line purposes. Yeah.
Where's the Rubber Soul box? Yeah, I'm trying to get Miles Scholl on, by the way, for like a late night sort of conversation, and he's still waiting for Universal to get approval to come on the show. So that's been like 2-3 weeks now, but that will be happening.
He has to get approval for Universal to be on your show now.
Yeah, so once that gets approved, we'll chat about that.
Is that because of the Beatles piece? Is that why?
I have no idea. He just says, well, every time he's been on the show, he's had to be approved, but this time it's taken a lot longer. They're just not. They don't want to be on the roundtable. What's this Rick's Fee Spinner? This guy Dexter that added the echo on the Canadian Beatles seems to have a bad rep. To me, only the 13 Parlophone UK issues matter, stereo and mono. There you go. Again, it's about track listing. I mean, growing up, I only had the Canadian one, so I only, certain albums only had that track listing, and so that's what I understood. And I didn't know about UK pressings of the Beatles when I was young, because we didn't have the internet. So you learn these things as you move forward. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely no Rhino. Not that I know of any jazz titles. I think they're just going to go with stuff that sells. They don't want to be blowing dust off this stuff for years, right? I mean, they want to, press it and get it out and sell it.
To be honest, Blue Note and Tone Poet are just kind of killing it with jazz. Everybody's buying those right now,
Yeah.
All the Kevin Gray stuff, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's top of the hour. We did it. Live Audiophile Roundtable Monday nighter. I'm excited about November. Did we miss anything for November? I mean, we've got the Beatles, we've got the Doors, we've got the Stooges, we've got the Ramones, we've got all those record store day stuff that I was showing you guys as well.
We got New Order coming out.
New Order. I mean, Mariah Carey.
What is Mariah Carey? It's got to be November, right? We got Tango and the Nights coming out too. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac. Hold on. I'm gonna do this. I gotta see if I can do this here. Check.
I'm gonna check.
Yeah, look for the street dates for Tango and the Night and for Mariah Carey. I want to know. We've kind of been a little lazy on Mobile Fidelity lately,
You know what? I agree with you. I think we need to step it up on our Mobile Fidelity news. I mean, we need to give them a chance. Did you see that? Did you see it? Is it up? Okay. What do we got here? So, which one do you want to know about? Santana Lotus. That's coming out.
Yeah, that's coming out.
Pre-order.
What's Tango on the Night street date?
Oh, right here. Can you see? Okay, right here.
Yeah.
We'll move down.
Is there a date yet?
I don't see a date anywhere. This is right on their website, unless someone else knows.
And I know they've started pressing at their own pressing plants, so it might go faster.
It's just a pre-order.
Fidelity record pressing.
And then another Santana came out, the Blues for Salvador.
So hopefully that Mariah Carey isn't issued in January. You think it'll happen in January?
Hang on. Well, I got to do this forever. And I know deep down secretly you're going to get Mariah Carey Merry Christmas. So we'll see when it... Yeah, they're not showing on this website when it is supposed to release.
Is it February 2025?
Why would it? That would be fun.
I'm kidding.
Pre-order. Doesn't say, does it?
No.
Doesn't say. I don't know. But we gave him a chance. That's MoFi's website. Yeah, Tango in the Night.
Mm-hmm.
Good album. Tell Me Lies, Tell Me
Sweet Lies. Another one Off the Wall. I might be interested in that one. You see that Michael Jackson album? That's a fantastic album.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love that more than Thriller, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I might be interested in that too.
That should sell a lot too. I think I don't know how many they sell, pressing 10,000 or one of those obscure 12,500 or something like that. I don't know.
Figured out, Steve, on the Michael Jackson off the wall. How many analog lacquers do they have to cut to make?
Well, hang on. Oh, maybe it's not digital, or maybe it's not analog, Michael. Maybe it's digital. That's so 2 years ago already. That's funny. All right. Well, thank you guys for all joining us. That was a lot of fun. We just did it. The Steve and Michael T show.
Yeah.
And I noticed on that video with that fella, he called you Michael the Greek, not Michael T. You got another name
when
on
I saw him in
YouTube
the
now.
yeah. So one more time, I want to give a shout out to Ed at Audio Ultra. He's been really good to me. I've been there almost every weekend listening to high-end systems.
He's
And
not
he said
sick.
to me,
He's not sick of you yet.
Audio/Ultra. Yeah, and he said, he even invited me to a Halloween party over the weekend. I was over there on the weekend.
Oh, that's where you were. That's what you told me.
Yeah,
I was texting you that. Yeah.
Yeah. He said to me, when I have you on videos on my channel, I'm going to call you Michael the Greek, because I have a Greek last name. It's
Hopefully he's watching tonight, and if so, hello. You'll have to let him know we gave him a
Ed, good guy.
Yeah, awesome.
He's friends with Shane. Shane's a good guy too.
Yeah.
Well,
guys, thank you everyone for watching. I even forgot this is a November. This is going to be a November to remember if you're an audiophile, and if you are an American voting in the election. This is a November to remember.
Next Tuesday, exactly a week away, is going to be probably the biggest election in history.
A week and 1 day.
Yeah,
lives will change in the United States of America. Maybe more of my friends will move to Canada. We'll see you guys.
We'll see.
What's interesting? I live close to the Canadian-U.S. border here, right? So the border, you hear about, build the wall in Mexico. In Canada, it's like a little picket fence between Canada and the U.S. It's a picket fence. Like I could, if I had to urinate, I could just pee over the fence into the United States and say that I peed in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a picket fence. That's all it is. But I wonder if there's like drones going around, and if you were to actually jump over the fence, if you get like busted for it. I would never try it. But yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Monday
fun.
Nighter. That was fun. Have a wonderful, wonderful Monday and the rest of your week. Talk to you again soon. Thanks, Michael.
We'll see you
Thanks,
soon.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.